From the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
Well, our focus tonight is up in western Kansas. And you go, why on the first day of fall would we be there? Well, because that's where things are happening right now. And that's basically the area and zone which shower and thunderstorm activity is just starting to get going on Interstate 70. And that's going to be a pretty big deal as we start to see additional showers and storms form in Kansas. And then that's going to become part of a flood watch situation where there's going to be a lot of heavy rain. Storms are going to dump a lot of water, and they're not moving super fast at this point. And you pretty much see the trajectory of that cluster of storms and where we anticipate the heaviest thunderstorms to be located. And that'll be moving into Arkansas as we work our way into this time tomorrow evening. So between now and then, it's not so bad, and then it's not so good. So the evening is not so bad. In fact, it's a nice evening, but by early tomorrow morning, it's a whole different story. Showers, thunderstorms, some of which severe, are going to be blasting across southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma. Some of those would contain some winds over 60 miles an hour, some very heavy rainfall, some small hail. Then that transitions a little bit further to the south and east as we go through the daytime hours, especially for the afternoon. So pretty much I-44 south and east is where we're going to keep our eyes on what's happening with strong storms. They'll have hail, they'll have wind, and unfortunately flooding rain for some need a lot of rain. And then the last thing is tornadoes. So there is a chance of a few tornadoes, and unfortunately it's looking like there will be a few. Temperatures in the 80s right now, but if you might have noticed too, it's very humid. We've had some of the rain, and then that humidity is there. And again, this is the flash flood watch area that you see in the blue. But overall temperatures are warm, and we'll have a light south wind continue to be a conveyor belt for extra moisture. They'll continue to come in and collide with these thunderstorms and that upper level disturbance. So by the time we get to early morning, showers and thunderstorms will be developing across northwestern parts of our viewing area and then spread across southeastern Kansas in our viewing area and also northern Oklahoma. And that's just going to be scraping right around Tulsa during the rush hour time period. So again, be watching in the morning. We'll have our trackers out. We'll have, of course, Alan and Stephen watching what's going on with that. And then this line of thunderstorms will be pushing east. So that first shot kind of moves through at about anywhere from we'll say 5:30 to about 9 o'clock. Then we're going to be watching for the next part of this, which will continue to develop, and then that'll create a line of thunderstorms sometime around noon into the afternoon that will be pushing south and east. So these thunderstorms could pulse severe during the afternoon, and then late afternoon it'll collide with very warm weather. So we'll have a lot of energy, and that capability of getting that really, we'll call it hot and humid air. That will trigger scattered strong to severe storms, and there's enough dynamics in the air that we should see some circulation features going on with some of these thunderstorms, and that would lead to the potential for maybe a tornado warning or two. So that's why we have to be aware, and that usually peaks out here in the September to October time period, so that's where we're at. And that's what we'll be looking particularly for, will be some of these strong to severe storms. So that'll be happening through about 8 o'clock in the evening. Once we get to 8, there could be some additional showers and thunder showers as a cold front starts to push on through. That'll get rid of most of our severe weather, but we could still have heavy rainfall till midnight if you're down south of I-40. That could lead to some flooding. That's why we have the flash flood watch in effect. Also then comes to the cooler weather. We'll be in the 60s in the morning, which isn't all that cool on Wednesday because there's still humidity and there's no real cool, dry air. That'll be happening by late Wednesday afternoon, but there still could be some scattered rain, some rumbles of thunder as well, because this upper level low will have to move all the way to the east. Once it does move off to the east, then that chance of rain will really drop off. But between now and pretty much early morning time period, it's quiet until about 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning. Then we peak out with thunderstorms mid-afternoon here, a little bit later if you're south and east of Tulsa. Then we still have that lingering chance of rain and thunderstorms as we work our way on into Wednesday. So the risk is pretty moderate for most of us as far as even a tornado risk. It's still not too sure that we won't see some. So then by the time we're in Thursday, what is that? Kickoff Tulsa State Fair? Yeah. 70s to low 80s. We're talking about great weather, and we're talking about low 80s on Friday. What a great way to start the Tulsa State Fair. Let's do it on Saturday as well as Sunday. That is some impressive weather. Timing couldn't be better, but before we get there, we actually have to get through tonight's severe weather, and that'll be primarily tomorrow morning, and then into the noontime hour and afternoon. Then that moves south and east of Tulsa. But if you're in southeast Oklahoma, we have to be watching that into the evening hours. A few showers on Wednesday, Tulsa State Fair. Looking really, really good, extending all the way into next week. All right, that's a look at your 9-day forecast. We're coming back in just a moment.